Well, you know, the end of the winter transfer window is the start of another serious transfer window where you're going to see lots of teams really spending lots of money. It was just once when we saw to it that Chelsea went ahead to obviously override the winter transfer window, I think in 2023, where they went ahead to spend close to £300 million, and it is really rare for clubs to spend that much. We even saw Arsenal spending 12 on Jorginho. They spent 21 on Jakub Kivio, taking that to 33, and 27 to Leandro Trossard, taking it to £50 million. But remember, their initial plan was to obviously spend it onto players. That is Caicedo, £80 million, and £86 million for Mikhailo Modric. That was the plan of Arsenal, meaning that Arsenal was also willing to break the bank and really spend close to £200 million to obviously be doing that. So this time around, it looks like the January transfer window was really boring because there was no huge transfer, right? I think Tottenham Hotspur bossed this transfer window after they brought in, is it Dangwist and the other guy called Timo Werner on loan. But no other team did went ahead to sign in players that you would say, all right, a significant signing was made like season, because Chelsea brought in Enzo Fernandez. They fought to bring in Mikhailo Modric. They brought in Madueke. They brought in Malo Gusto. They brought in very many players in the January transfer window. But this time around, they've not even gone ahead to really bring in a single player. They've only gone ahead to let out players go. So looks like Paqueta to Man City transfer is really one of those that Man City is really looking at. Remember, they never went for him after he really had charges that he had to clear out on betting, and Man City were in fear that they would go ahead and really spend 80 million pounds on this player, and he would really be banned. The problem is being faced by Newcastle for not making what we call a thorough search onto Sandro Tonali with the charges really hard, meaning that Newcastle are really very, very desperate. So Man City put the desperation away because they wanted to get in players, and they really went in for Matthias Nunes into that midfield. Welcome to this channel. I go by the names of Rokani David. Thomas Tuchel, having gone ahead to agree that he's gonna part ways with Bayern Munich, has gone ahead and be revealed to us as to why that ultimatum was reached by the side. And then Nagelsmann has gone ahead to speak to us what really failed him at Bayern Munich, and how Bayern Munich went ahead to shift from the original plan they had when he was signing from RB Leipzig to go ahead and really join them. It's a Saturday. Premier League football is back, and in the next 4 hours, we are going to be bringing you the latest news and information as far as all this is concerned. So this is Rokani David. It's the Rokani Media Football. Hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are, and we are really bringing you the best of the best that you guys really deserve. And what else are we gonna really be talking about? A lot now. We start off with thanking God for the gift of life and the Muslims Barakallahu Fikum, and then let's get straight into this story. It was first broken by TalkSport, and it was by Alex Crook. Credit, it has to go to him, and he deserves the mention. He told us that West Ham are bracing themselves for fresh interest from Man City in Lucas Paqueta, with Pep Guardiola remaining a keen admirer of the midfielder. So, as I told you, Man City had interest and had gone ahead to agree personal terms with Lucas Paqueta, and West Ham were willing to really get £80 million for Man City to obviously get this guy in. But Man City look like they want to refresh their interest in this guy again, because the player they brought in through Matthias Nunes has failed obviously coming through to fit in like a glove. Even Kovacic has not gone ahead to obviously get into that. Then today morning, we've gotten a story coming in from Mike Graith. He's a football reporter at the Daily Telegraph that Man City are interested in Lucas Paqueta as a potential summer signing should clubs move for Bernardo Silva. The 26-year-old remains a player Man City admire and is seen as a player who could play in their midfield if interest in Bernardo ramps up. Now, this one is so much clinging it on to Bernardo Silva, but we all know that Bernardo Silva is going to leave the side of Man City. That's why he went ahead to put in a £50 million release clause for any team that really wants to sign him from Man City. But for Lucas Paqueta, I think at the age of 26, he still has the hunger, something that Bernardo doesn't have at Man City, according to me. He's going to hit to win it all, and that's why Pep Guardiola wants to refresh his squad. Lucas Paqueta, ever since he came in through at West Ham in the summer, I think, of 2022, he has been really a revelation that side. He has gone ahead to really put in lots and lots of performances. The previous season, he was really good, but this season, he was really doing great, apart from the injury got that really saw him sidelined for some time. Lucas Paqueta has gone ahead to put in some ridiculous numbers. In 18 games, 2 goals and 5 assists. And when you look at Pep Guardiola, he believes he might be the right replacement for Ilkay Gundogan. You know, the biggest problem that Man City is having that midfield is that Ilkay Gundogan factor. Because Nunes is good, but he doesn't match the levels of Ilkay Gundogan. And this is where you like Lucas Paqueta, because Lucas Paqueta can really do the box-to-box role very well. And that's what this manager really wants. And Paqueta is really skilled, and you just imagine how Paqueta is going to be looking if at all he signs for Man City. If he's looking like that when he's playing for a team that plays pragmatically in the Premier League, that is West Ham, how is he going to look when he's playing alongside players like Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, and very many others? You know, that means Erling Haaland will be having another source of assists. You know, this guy is really good at making assists. He can find a pass over the top, a low line breaking pass, and so much more. So for Lucas Paqueta, it's just time. It's a matter of time, and I think it's going to really work well for the club of Man United. Sorry, for the club of Man City. And he was really a player who came in through at the age of 24. Now he's 26 years of age. You really understand that you partner him with Kevin De Bruyne and Rodri, you'll be having one of the best midfields in the world. So Paqueta gives you a lot. He can also play in the Kevin De Bruyne position. That is it. And Kevin De Bruyne looks like he's not going to be at Man City for a very long time, but Pep Guardiola is really planning to see how he really builds that trio that are going to have to make him lots and lots of wins. This time around, he had Ilkay Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, and Rodri. Ilkay Gundogan left, and they're really having huge problems. One of the deadliest trios he had in that midfield that people will never forget, Fernandinho, David Silva, and Kevin De Bruyne. That midfield was really good. It was one of the best midfield trios in the world. And after phasing that out, he brought in Rodri, Ilkay Gundogan, and Kevin De Bruyne. Now it looks like he wants to build another third phase of a trio that is going to haunt teams. But as he does that, teams are really strengthening themselves. And I think Pep Guardiola is really going to face a lot of competition from the start of this season. You see, to it that he's having 56 points. Liverpool is having 60. Arsenal is having 55. So 3 teams are really into this trophy, and it's not good news for him because he knows that there is no way that all those 2 teams will obviously drop off. Like last season, if there was a third force, competing for the trophy, trust me, Man City was not going to take it, because if Arsenal down tools, and took the foot off the pedal, the other team wouldn't have gone ahead to put the hand on the handbrake. Would have gone obviously to add in another gear, and that would have gone ahead to result into the side of Man City really losing. That is it. So that is it coming in through from Lucas Paqueta. He's a player that has gone ahead to play very well at West Ham, and he's now a Premier League proven player. And we wait for further interest, because teams like Newcastle were interested, but when Man City knocks on the door, I don't think that teams like teams like Newcastle can come in through and really stop it, unless teams like Man United, Arsenal come in through and obviously knock on the door. That's what can change the position of this guy. But he wants to go to Man City. Everything was done and dusted, but because of his family doings of really involving themselves in betting, that's why Man City pulled out of the deal of Lucas Paqueta. Now, we all know that Thomas Tuchel is going to have to come to an agreement with the side of Bayern Munich that at the end of the season he's gonna be really sacked, or they're gonna part ways. And today he has gone ahead and obviously spoken out. Ever since that decision was taken after he lost to Bochum by 3-2, and he found himself losing to Lazio away in Italy in the Champions League by 1-0. He said, "We spoke on Tuesday and informed the team of the decision on Wednesday. The reason was we are unhappy with the way we are playing and with the points we got and the 3 recent defeats. There is not a single culprit. If the coach was the only one to blame, I wouldn't be sitting here today, but I take responsibility, the development of our game, the results are not there as I imagine." And the guy is right. Sometimes people look at the manager, people calling in for sack the manager, let him really leave and go elsewhere. You get? But just know. So just know that even the players are to blame. People always find themselves in a situation of really coming out and really blaming the managers. The managers take the first blame or the primary blame, but the secondary blame should go on the players, because there's things that players do when they're like, we have nothing to lose. So it's like something that should obviously take a new course, that heads must roll not only onto the manager's side but also to the player's side. Like, I've gone ahead to see articles coming through from Bayern Munich that they want to obviously do what we call an overhaul, at Bayern Munich. They want to get in new players and really phase out these ones and really sell them, because they're having players whom they can really get some good money from. A player like Leroy Sen, who is really not okay with renewing his contract, they can get like 60 million pounds from him. Serge Gnabry, they can get like 60 million pounds from him. Matthias De Ligt, like 50 million pounds. I think they can sell like 6 players and really get that squad, because when you look at what Xabi Alonso has gone ahead to do, who is really topping the table and is ahead of Bayern Munich with 8 points, because they even went ahead to win. I think, was it yesterday? Yeah, they went ahead to win. It's an approval that it doesn't come with the players. It's all about the coach and having the best that you deserve. So wait and see how that pans out. But heads are going to roll at the side of Bayern Munich. Then the manager that went ahead and obviously leave the side of Bayern Munich was Nagelsmann, and he said the following: "I was appointed at Bayern Munich with the aim of changing things. Some clubs that give you time. Some clubs that give you the time. Klopp won after 5 years. Pep only won the Champions League title after 7 years. At Bayern, they don't get that time to develop something." So this is the problem Bayern Munich is having. It's going to really destabilize their growth. It's written nowhere that to really rate all the way how good the manager is, he should be getting you Champions League. To get you Champions League, it's a process. It's written nowhere that you're supposed to be winning Champions Leagues every time, because even other teams are really great. It's like saying you are the only team that has players that can compete. And you look at Bayern Munich, when you're talking about players that make the world's best 11, I think the players they have that can come in through and really compete for that are Manuel Neuer, their goalkeeper. I think he can tussle it out with Alson Becker. Any of the two you give me, it's okay. Then the other position is the left back. Alphonso Davies, to me, I think is the best left back in the world. And that is it. Who else? When you talk about the right back, they don't have the best right back in the world, because their right backs are not to the level of Trent, Cancelo, even Diego Dallo. The other one is another right back, Reece James. To me, those are some of the best right backs in the world. When you go to the central defenders, I don't think that they have a player that can match Saliba or Virgil van Dijk, Rafael Varane, even Araujo at Barcelona is really doing great. There are some good central defenders in the Premier League. The Ruben Diaz's of this world, good quality defenders. You're right. So when we go to the midfield, I don't think they have the best CDM, because Rodri to me is the best CDM, and there are players like Casemiro, there are players like Declan Rice, there are players like Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez. They cannot match. Creative midfielders, Jaume Musiala can come in through, but when you put him onto Kevin De Bruyne, there is no way he comes in to compete. Harry Kane is good, but when you look at the forwards like Erling Haaland, there is no way this guy comes close. Right forward, Salah, Bukayo Saka, I don't think Leroy Sane comes close. If it is Saka, I think he can come. Leroy Sane can beat Saka, but I think the best right attacking midfielder in the world is Salah. On the left, Kylian Mbappe. Who comes close to Kylian Mbappe? No one. So it shows you that even if you are to do what we call the entire first 11, they have only 2 players that can compete: Manuel Neuer and Afonso Alves. And you know that Bayern Munich is a team that was built on having attack-minded superstars. So which attack-minded superstars do they have? The Ribery's, the Arjen Rubbens of this world. So they are really lacking quality, and they need to look through that. So guys, your thoughts on to Paqueta to Man City transfer back on the cards are welcome in the comment section below. And what do you make about Thomas Tuchel? Do you think it was right for Bayern Munich to obviously part ways with him at the end of the season? And then lastly, what do you make about Nagelsmann exposing Bayern Munich on how they parted ways when Bayern Munich went ahead to defer from a decision that was made by them? May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are here having fun. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum.